Welcome to today's video lesson. Today we are studying about descriptive writing. Together we will learn what descriptive writing is and its key characteristics. Here we will talk about using sensory details to describe a person or an object. We will also see how adjectives can help us improve our description. Descriptive means to describe something by giving details and using our five senses. Our sense of sight, smell, hearing, tasting, and touching. Good writers use their senses to add lots of details so the reader can visualize fully. To help communicate description accurately, we make use of adjectives. You have already covered the topic of adjectives in your classes. Let's practice some more. This time, we will describe a favorite snack, popcorn. We will identify adjectives based on our five senses: seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and feeling. The popcorns are white and fluffy. They make a crunching sound. They smell buttery. The adjectives delicious, salty, and buttery can be used to describe their taste. To touch, they feel to be warm when they are fresh, and their texture is bumpy. So far, we have discussed that descriptive writing describes a person or an object. We can do this through our five senses. Adjectives help us in meeting these goals. Let's move to a task now. For your task, you have to describe a magical plant. Whenever a descriptive writing task has been given to us, we must follow 3 steps. The first 2 steps are followed before we begin to write. The last step involves reviewing our work, so this can happen once our task is complete. Let's discuss these in detail. The first step that we must follow is to make a plan of what we want to talk about. In simple words, we will gather all our information here related to our senses. First, you have to think about and plan what your imaginary plant will look like. Which color is it? What is its size? Is it big or small? Does it look like a normal plant, or there is something unique about its appearance? Then you need to think about how it smells. Is your imaginary plant pleasant to smell or has a bad odor? If it has a strong smell, then it means your plant can be smelled from a distance, like a strong perfume. How will your plant feel when we touch it? Is it smooth or rough? Or is it slimy maybe? Once we touch it, does it behave differently or it makes no difference? Coming to the fourth sense, can your plant be eaten? If yes, how does it taste? You also have to think about how your plant sounds. Does it make a fluttering sound like a butterfly when its leaves move in the wind? Or any other sound? Or it makes no sound at all and is silent and mute. So in the planning stage, the first stage, we have to think about all these important characteristics. Once we have decided which characteristics our imaginary plant will have, we can then move to step 2. In this step, we will think of the adjectives that we can use to communicate our concept for our readers. The adjectives have to be suitable and interesting so that we can describe something accurately and attractively for our readers. The common words like good, bad, big, nice are alright, but we can replace them with more interesting words. For example, if you want to say your plant smells bad, you can use more interesting adjectives such as rotten, unpleasant, decaying. But if your plant smells nice, you can say it smells aromatic, fragrant, fresh. If your plant tastes bad, you can say unsavory or bland. If your plant is tasty, instead of saying plant tastes nice, say it is appetizing or mouth-watering. If you want to say your plant feels good to the touch, you can use the adjectives such as silky, smooth, velvety. If your magical plant produces good music, you can say it is melodic or musical. Instead of saying your plant is big, use more interesting adjectives such as monstrous, enormous, or towering. These are only a handful of examples of better adjectives. You can use dictionary and thesaurus to find out more interesting adjectives. This will also improve your vocabulary. Once your vocabulary builds up, your writing and reading performance will automatically increase. Let me describe my magical plant to you. The first time you look at my thumb-sized yellow plant, you will not know it is special. It looks ordinary with its dull green stem, green leaves, and the brown pot it is planted in. Only I know that it is a singing plant. It sings a melodious song that makes me feel instantly happy. When it sings, its petals turn a different shade, like a rainbow. When a petal falls, I pick it up and eat it. Yum! What a delicious strawberry flavor it has. When it is not singing, it has sharp spikes on it, so you better not touch it. The spikes turn velvety and spray a fragrant perfume when it sings. You can see here that the descriptions based on the 5 senses have been highlighted so you can easily see them. Once you have made a list of all the suitable and interesting adjectives you want to use to describe your plant, you are ready to write. After you complete your writing, you must remember the step 3. Here you will check your own work before submitting it to your teacher. In this step, you have to make sure that you have used all your 5 senses to describe a person or an object. You also have to make sure that you are using interesting adjectives that can communicate meaning to your reader. Finally, you must review your work for any grammar or punctuation mistake that you may have done. Now is the time to correct it before showing your work to your teacher. Okay, students, That's it for lesson on descriptive writing. Take care and happy learning.